The Weekend Podcast on Vox Markets with Justin, Peter and Steve. Nothing in this podcast is intended as investment advice, and the people in this podcast may hold positions in the stocks they talk about. Do not buy anything based solely on a tip or recommendation. Please do your own research.
Welcome to the Weekend Podcast. I'm joined by Peter and Steve. Paddy, unfortunately, has died due to COVID. It's a very sad state of affairs. It's rife down there in the Croydon area. Right around the Croydon boy, isn't it awful, dreadful? But there we are. You filled a gap while he was here, didn't he, Pad? That's what they'll say at his funeral. He filled a gap while he was here.
Fill the gap, Pad.
Yeah, no, Paddy can't make it. He didn't say why. He's been very secretive, as is Paddy's life. I think is quite secretive. But there we are.
No, he said he's going Christmas shopping.
Was that what he said? Oh, okay. I was okay. Not so mysterious then. Going Christmas shopping. By the way, have you done your Christmas? In fact, Steve, I don't know if you can do your Christmas shopping. Probably mostly online. But are you in the lockdown now in Wales? What is it? I don't know what day it is of the week. It's sometimes a lockdown. It's Saturday, isn't it? So are you locked down or not?
No, we're not locked down until 28th.
28th now, right? Lockdown today, right? Every day with a W in it or T, we'll have a lockdown, right? And then we'll see if the infections go up. And maybe I'll see. Every day I'll stand up and say, "Today, boys, it's a lockdown today." It's like
bingo.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's ridiculous, isn't it? What's going on in the world? So that guy there, he just seems a little bit simple, you know. And it's terrible infections. And two things we talked about on the WhatsApp group, saying a couple of things happening in Wales you couldn't believe. First of all, the infection rate, which is probably the worst in the country anyway, looks like it's double the actual what they're stating, because we've had a computer IT boys come in, swap the system round. We've lost half the data, see. And turns out we've got more infections now than we had before. I said to the boys, back it all up, boys, before you take it down. They didn't back it up, see. But so it looks like they've got twice as many infection rates now, and they've also stopped the vaccination program going on, because turns out people giving the vaccines caught COVID.
Yeah. I think we're back up and running again now, though.
All right. What we should do, see, boys, is vaccinate the people who are giving the vaccine. I know it's clever on that one, see, because then they won't catch it. But we didn't do that originally. We were, people welcoming people in, giving them a kiss and a cuddle when they came in. Oh, welcome to the vaccine centre. And they caught the COVID. And so lockdown, please, everyone, lockdown.
To be fair, they did give them the vaccine. That was my point, but Steve rightly said, no, they did give them the vaccine, but obviously didn't have time to work, and they, in the meantime, caught it, which is unfortunate. But
it's like in Wales here, it's like a comedy of errors, and it lends itself, the accent lends itself to that kind of thing anyway.
Oh, yeah, and they lost half the tests, didn't they?
Did they?
Yeah, the computer systems crashed. Windows crashed, and they lost like half of the registered positive results.
Yeah. So it's IT system gone wrong there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But don't worry about that, boys, because you only have to give half the dose, see? Because AstraZeneca discovered that accidentally. Yeah. It's like, what's going on? Even Oxford University is getting it wrong. And even did you see them come out today or this week? They said there's more tests now on different dosage levels, AstraZeneca. So they've done now, they've tested a full dose and a half dose. So a full dose first and half dose after. They didn't mention further testing of the half dose, full dose, which seemed to be more effective. So what's going on there? There's no transparency. Yeah. Everything's all over the place. Is there any wonder, this vaccine is rife? And of course, at the top pile there, you've got the government. Don't know what they're arse from their elbow anyway. So it's like we are living, almost working in a carry-on film, aren't we? It's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And there we are. But so you locked down on the 27th. What's the rest of the country then? Are we locked down on after Christmas or what? So Boris, what did Boris just say? Listen, don't be stupid over Christmas. Do not invite loads of people around. Do not go out and mingle, because it's going to make me worse in January. Don't keep saying, have yourself a merry little Christmas. I mean that by little. He's trying to be... I thought Boris would be a bit more, stern about it, He just needs to say how it is, doesn't he?
Yeah. Well, rather than doing it and then kind of backtracking a bit, yeah.
To be fair, though, you've got to have just a bit of common sense, really, because we all know that is the situation. And if you want to just basically go around and have big family Christmas days, well, you're asking for it, really, aren't you? So
Yeah, but when you think what we know is when the alcohol is in, the common sense is out, isn't it?
Yeah, but you don't start drinking the alcohol until you're there, are you? So you're already there at that point.
Yes, and then we think, oh, maybe we shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
No.
Let's go next door. See what they're doing.
yeah. I know, you're going to have two families in a bubble. Let's go next door. They're not a family. We add them to our bubble because they're not related. See? That's the way it works.
Doesn't say we can't have a street party.
Yeah, so I don't know what they're saying now. Boris is not ruling out the chance of a third lockdown for the UK, which is annoying. Yeah. And in fact, you know what? Let's go to vaccination quiz, right? In fact, on the thing here, the weekend podcast, the vaccination quiz, the contrarian play, the Welsh lockdown, which we've done, the game changer, the Santa Rally Twitter poll, and the first of my EV plays. I'm going to do a video this weekend revealing the first of my 2 EV plays I hold. So I think the share price is sort of levelling off here, and maybe a good play. First of all, vaccination quiz, right? How many people, boys, just shout out the answer. In fact, I'll go higher, lower, right? I'll do a higher, like Brucey style. Yeah, all right. Yeah. How many people vaccinated in the UK first week?
Is that how many people have been vaccinated in the first week?
Yeah, how many people have vaccinated in the first week? First week in the UK, how many people have vaccinated? Steve!
10,000.
Higher. Pete?
140,000.
Lower.
11,000.
Steve, edge it up a little bit. No, Steve, higher. Pete?
30,000.
Steve, higher. Steve?
50,000.
Steve, higher, Steve. Higher, Pete. Higher.
80,000.
Higher, Steve.
100,000.
Higher. Steve, Peter's close first time round. Higher.
This is great. 110,000.
Higher, Steve.
125,000.
Higher, Pete.
135,000.
Ooh, getting close. Ooh, higher, Steve, very close. Higher.
140,000.
He said that already, you fool. Lower.
139,000.
You go, Pete. Lower, 139. Higher, 135.
137,000.
Higher, Steve.
138,000.
Yes, 138,000.
That's pretty close.
Did he do well? Yeah, 138,000. Yeah, I think you knew it, you see, because they rounded up in the press. They rounded up. It's like 137,000. So 138,000 it was. So you think that's not a bad start, is it? First week of vaccinations, they vaccinated 138,000, but it's nowhere near enough. And the trouble is, it's the Pfizer vaccine, you see, which is supply chain very difficult. It's got to be stored at -70. There are only specialist hubs that can not all your regular GPs can store it. Now, AstraZeneca, right? In fact, here's another quiz. Right? How long will it take to vaccinate the entire adult population in the UK at this rate of 138,000 people per week? Steve, go for it. In years. We're talking about years now.
Sorry, what was the question again?
Come on, Steve. How many people, if we vaccinate 138,000 a week, would it take to vaccinate the entire UK population?
A year.
Higher.
It's going to be like 18 months, isn't it?
Higher.
Okay.
24 months.
Higher.
We're doing 3 years.
Higher.
Is it?
Yes.
4 years.
4.5 years. It took 4.5 years, pretty much, to vaccinate the entire population if we did it that rate, which is ridiculous, So AstraZeneca is a game changer, all right? Because but I reckon AstraZeneca will get passed before the end of the year, and that's the one that will be a complete game changer.
How's that a game changer then? How's it going to be faster if we get that? Is it just because it's getting...
because all GPs can store it. And
right,
with Pfizer, they can't. They're going to have these special fridges. You've seen those medical fridges, -70, the dry ice and all that stuff. So we need to get, right, for example, if we vaccinated, if we knocked that up, and I think we could do it, because 138,000 with Pfizer, which is a difficult supply chain, if we got 500,000 people a week, do you know how long it would take to vaccinate the vulnerable people? Good. Because the vulnerable people are between 5 and 6 million, right? So... easy maths. 5-6 million people are vulnerable, bed blockers, right? How long will it take to vaccinate those? 500,000 doses or injections a week? How many?
to 10 or 12, 10 to 12.
10 to 12 weeks, yes, spot on, Peter. He's won the car and the boat. So 10... Yeah,
but that's what I was... Oh, that's 500,000. Yeah, sorry. I was doing
so if you do 500,000 a week, it takes about 10 to 12 weeks because there are about 5-6 million vulnerable people. With the NHS, of course, that they mustn't make a mistake Wales made by not vaccinating the people giving the vaccine because they are in a very infectious area, and so if they give those first to those people and care staff, that's 5-6 million people. So within you're talking 2-3 months. Be done and dusted, then we can open up the economy. No more lockdown, see? But I hope they go by that. I hope they go by hospital rates rather than just infection rates, because the thing that's affecting everything is the hospitals, isn't it? If they're backed up, it paralysed everything. Your waiting list got on everything. So as long as then we can free up the NHS, we can open the economy. It doesn't matter, does it? If you catch it, if you or I catch it, we're unlikely to be taken down by it or hospitalised by it. So it doesn't matter. It's like the flu or cold. You don't, as long as the flu is deadly, of course, to people who are vulnerable. Okay, then use another quiz here, right? How many doses has the UK government secured in total? This is from all the vaccination companies. How many doses have they secured? Steve, go for it.
What?
How many doses in total have they secured? The government ordered. Have they ordered?
120 million.
Higher, Pete.
I don't know, 200 million?
Higher, Steve.
Is it?
Yes.
250 million.
Higher, Pete.
300 million.
Higher, Steve.
100 million.
Lower, Steve. Pete.
400 million.
Lower, Steve.
319 million.
It's 357 million doses they've secured.
Oh, there we are.
Sorry, so that's, when I said originally 18 months, I know 140,000 a week, but I was thinking then we'd ramp that up as we go and there would be more every week. I know the question was at 140,000.
Yeah, the question, yes. Can I ignore the questions, Pete?
It won't be 140,000 a week, will it? Surely it'll ramp up now so that it'll be...
Ramp up, yes.
At one point, why could we get to $1 million a week or whatever?
Yes, exactly, yes. We've got enough doses.
We've got enough supply, is what I'm
saying. Well, Pfizer, right? Okay, here's the next one. See, here we go. How many doses have this? Just shout out. Right, we won't do the Brucey thing now because it's getting a bit tiresome. How many doses from each of these companies have the government ordered? Right? Okay, Oxford, AstraZeneca. How many have they ordered from there? What do you reckon?
300 million.
No, Pete.
200 million.
Is your name Pete?
Well, you said shout out.
I did say shout out. Yes.
150 million.
Yeah, no, close. 100 million. So Oxford, 100 million. So the next one down is Pfizer. They ordered 40 million of that, and they've already got that out. It's passed. In fact, Moderna. Do you see that overnight? The FDA have approved Moderna as well. We've got 7 million doses of that. 60 million from Novavax. 60 million from Valneva. I don't know what Valneva is. 60 million from GSK and Sanofi, and 30 million with Janssen vaccine. So 357 million. But like I said, AstraZeneca is the one. Okay, one final question on the vaccination. This is one final thing, okay? Prices, okay? Who is the most expensive? You got AstraZeneca, Johnson & Johnson, GSK, Pfizer, CureVac, Moderna. Who's the most expensive? How much does it cost, do you reckon?
It's going to be Pfizer because of the fridges, isn't it? But
Moderna's exactly the same, though. But I don't understand.
No, okay.
So Pfizer, Steve, you are... Oh, no. So it's Pfizer is second most expensive. It is €12 a dose. They've done it in all different currencies here. €12 a dose, right? Moderna's $18 a dose, which is around about sort of that level, isn't it? So they're both roughly the same because you have to freeze it and all that stuff, and it costs a lot. So what's the cheapest? Do you know the cheapest?
How many rupee is that?
In rupee? No idea. Cool. So Pfizer and Moderna are most expensive, and GSK is $7.56. AstraZeneca is only $1.78. It was £1.61 per dose, and that's why we've ordered 100 million. They're the cheapest. It's unbelievable. Yeah. But they messed up, and they turned along with all these different figures, saying, "Oh, this one, if you give it half a dose, then a full dose is quite effective. If you give 2 full doses, not effective, or it is effective. Don't know, really. We don't really know." We're just testing different doses because we've got the Welsh diluting it. They should give it to the Welsh to start off with. How many doses do we give? Oh, don't matter really. Just messing it, vary it. Bury it, see what happens.
We're doing it in shots in Wales. Open up the bars and I'll have a shot of the vaccine.
That's it, yeah.
Jaeger bomb.
Ladies and gentlemen, good news is we can open up the bars now. The bars are open, but the first shot you have has got to be a vaccine shot, right? Just get the economy going again. Right, yeah, so I just think, though, once we get the AstraZeneca one done, and hopefully, Dr. Whitty, I like Chris Whitty, do you? He's that guy, he's a bit, he looks like a sort of a nerdy kind of guy you trust, in that environment. But
they've got his character done perfectly in spit and image. You can imagine, can't you?
Yeah. But he was saying he reckons, and he's quite conservative. He said, I expect to have the vaccine. It'll be in early New Year, maybe even before that. That's a subtle suggestion, maybe even before that. I think it will be before that, because there's a lot of pressure now, isn't it, on the regulation. If they're safe, just get them out there anyway. Ignore the tin foil hat wearing idiot brigade.
So,
the conspiracy
going back to my question, and eventually we'll get onto stocks and shares.
Yeah.
But what is the plan now? Because I really haven't taken much interest. What is the plan with the vaccine rollout, and what is the time frame we're looking at to get a large proportion of the population, the vulnerable people, like the 10 to 12 weeks? Is that going to happen?
Well, Hat Mancock said that so he reckons basically it's spring, and they're all saying spring everyone. But I'm thinking that for economy-wise, and we're into stocks and shares, I think it's going to be before that, hopefully. If we get, like say, 500,000 to 1 million a week, then that you could do that with AstraZeneca, because every GP can do it, and they're going to train up everyone now to give vaccinations. Any Tom, Dick or Harry or Harriet or Hannah, whatever, can be trained, and they're asking for anyone to come along and just train to help out. And so I think if they get AstraZeneca pass, that's the game changer. AstraZeneca is the game changer. Once they get that pass, there's no reason why you can't do like 1 million a week. 6 weeks, done. That's the vulnerable people done. Done and dusted. So hopefully. So I went to Centre Park this week, right? Now, is an analogy, investing analogy here, right? I'm going to see if you can spot it.
Oh, good.
Yeah, you like this. So every year, pretty much before Christmas, we go for a week away in the sun. So I think I suffer from SAD, which is seasonally adjusted disorder, isn't it? Where you get lack of light. And it's been proven is a real thing. And I think if you go to sunny countries, you think, oh, so nice, just the light. And it affects you. But we couldn't do that because of COVID, right? So we thought, should we go to Centre Parks? We go there once a year near Centre Parks. And we thought, well, we checked out and said, you can't go there because, you can go, but the swimming is limited, 2 sessions per week. And the kids love the swimming. I don't know if you've been there, subtropical, there's slides, there's the rapids, I get dragged down all the time, which I'm all rapided out, pretty much.
Two sessions in the whole week?
In the whole week.
Normally you would go twice a day or whatever, or 3 times a day or something.
Yeah,
wow.
Well, it's 4 days, 4 nights really you go for. So normally we go every day, pretty much, and so that sort of almost put us off, We thought, should we rather go in? Because we can't, we can't, the kids, what else are we going to do if it's going to be raining, right? So we end up going anyway. And here's the thing, we got there, and people like us didn't book because of the 2 sessions a week, right? So they opened up the swimming more. They said, no, listen, because less people are booking, you can have a session each day. So it was like normal. But it wasn't like normal because there were less people there. It's hardly anyone there. There's no queues for the rides, the slides, the rapids. We went to the Christmas sort of village, which are amazing lights, like 5 million lights lighting up, all with musical syncs, the lights in it and all that stuff. There's hardly anyone there. Restaurants.
Had the price gone up?
No. Literally, I mean, if you want to book in a half term, it'd be £2,000 for lodge. It's like £700 for lodge. We had a 3-bedroom lodge, 3-bedroom lodge, for £700 for 4 of us and a dog. So we went there, and it was probably the best ever. You could change your activities. Like normally, all the activities, like we went tree climbing and zip lining, all that you can't change, you can't book sometimes because it's really busy. Because if you've got the slot and it's like, for example, on Wednesday it turns out it was going to rain all day, so we didn't want to be going through the trees, and so we changed it to Thursday. Thursday morning, the sun was out, it was gorgeous, and so
I can't wait for this analogy.
Yeah. Well, so the thing is, as I say, at the start, I'm asking you to guess analogies. At the start, we nearly didn't book because we thought, it's not worth going. We went there. It turns out to be the best experience we've ever had. There was no one there. Well, there were people there, of course, but you go on the beach there. There's nobody there. We let Loli off the lead. She went nuts. You're not supposed to, but because no one don't bother with. We had bike rides.
We went skinny dipping.
We were further away from the central bit, but we hired bikes. And we found a back track where you can go around. It's a secret passage you can go to. Someone told us about, and so we 10 minutes to the centre, and it was the best experience we've had because there were a lack of people. Now, What is the investing analogy there?
Steve.
Yes, well done, Pete. Steve.
Pete.
That's the equivalent of being in question time, for example, and putting up your hand and saying, the man, and then point to the guy next to you. If you put up your hand and point at it was him, it was, not me.
Is it that you don't get into a stock because you don't think it's going to be successful, and then you do, and it turns out nobody else has got into that either, and it isn't successful? No.
The analogy is the contrarian investment, all right? And that's why people don't get into something, because they think something's this way, but actual fact, it's the opposite. For example, if a share is really ramped, it's like you wouldn't think of doing it because this time of year it's very quiet and it's going. If a share is really ramped and everyone's talking about it on Twitter, everyone's in. You need to buy shares when they're unloved. When they're unloved, you need to buy shares. Not when they're loved and everyone's hyping it up and going crazy about it. Too late then. The first easy, fast move has happened. It's happened, you know? And I see now a lot of, in fact, a good example is this.
How do you find the back passage? I mean,
we asked the cleaner. And she said, no, we said, it's a long way back to the centre, isn't it? She said, no, you don't have to go that way. Because we were still going to the roadway.
In shares. Oh,
yeah. So no, you do your search. If you look now, like a while back, in September, I tweeted, didn't I? I said, when the vaccines start landing, right, all the hot COVID testing stocks that are hyped and hoped up and ramped up like hell will dive. And people can say, it doesn't matter. They still need testing for another 12 months. I said, it doesn't matter. The market's about sentiment. A lot of it's about sentiment. And when we had that vaccine news on Pfizer, all the travel stocks, all the hospitality stocks jumped. And they did a big rally, including, for ones we hold, Escape Hunt, for example, right? They jumped. And all the COVID stocks took a hammering. People say, it doesn't matter. But since then, most of those COVID stocks have not recovered. They've gone downward. Because we know now we're on the road back to the norm. We're reverting to mean, Now, we've gone through quite a bearish period at the moment where infections have gone up. There's been more lockdowns, going to harsher tiers, and people are thinking, oh no, this is the second time now. If you're looking at stocks, for example, a lot of people are selling Escape Hunt. I said, no, this is not the time. This is not a buy, not sell. I've been topping up on Escape Hunt now. I got 3 million of those bad boys. 3 million. 3 million of those bad boys.
Have you? Wow.
Because I reckon it'll get to £1 and I'll have 3 million quid from it. And this is what I see getting value. You can value each site pretty much to £1 million. That's not including their at-home plays, their print and play, which are doing very well, subscription levels, franchisees, which are going very well. I see this getting to 75 million, 100 million market cap. That's a 10-bagger pretty much. And they'll do it because they're rolling out. They've just announced 15 sites. But right now, when people, I think people have been very short-sighted. This will be done, if AstraZeneca comes out with their vaccine, the economy will be back to normal pretty much. Everything will be open within 2-3 months. And do you think the share price will stay where it is right now, in the next 2-3 months? It won't. The stock market looks ahead. Someone said to me, but look, there's no sites open, or very few sites open. I said, yeah, but you're not looking forward 6 months. When you're buying a stock, you've got to be looking forward 6 to 12 months.
Yeah.
And every stock, 6 to 12 months. And even COVID testing stocks, if you're looking forward 6 to 12 months, that's why they're dying.
Yeah.
The stock market looks ahead.
Can I just ask that? And we'll use Escape Hunt as an example, but this is quite a typical thing where if you follow a chart like that and it's doing what Escape Hunt is doing now, and as you say, it's being sold, so you're topping up, so that's great. But it is that age-old question of, how low will it go now because of the sentiment? And you're topping up now, fair enough. If we get back to 8p, and maybe we will, you'll be looking at your ones you bought at 12p, 13p, go, I should have just held on and bought here. But equally, it might go back to 15, 16p, and you'll be like, that was a good top up there at 12. It's difficult, isn't it?
Then again, you've got to look at it from 6 to 12 months time frame as well. I always think, you're never going to...
That's my point. Not everyone is doing that. So people
I know. Exactly.
Go lower.
Yeah. Those people selling are dirty, silly traders who pee their pants when the share price turns, a couple of days of red.
No, but they exist. That's my point.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Well, ignore the pee the pants brigade.
You can't control them. No,
I don't need to. All I'm looking at is this, right? I said to someone, I think people selling here have been short-sighted. They may be traders, maybe short-sighted. They follow the two camps, I think. People who pee their pants when the share price goes down and sell, and traders who are in and out, jumping in and out all the time. And I think I just said on Twitter, I said, people are selling here a bit short-sighted, I think. You've got to look, say, 6, 12, well, in fact, 12 months down the line, they'll have about 20 sites opened. right? That means on those sites alone, and they'll be fully, and I assume the economy, you've got to assume to a certain extent, the vaccines will be around, and even with this new variant strain, it doesn't matter. Have you seen that? I was a bit worried about that. I looked into it, though, and they're saying that the vaccine should sort that out. I didn't know this. No, they say it's a new variant strain that's going around. It's a bit more infectious. I didn't realise there's 1,200 mutations already in it with COVID-19. It's 1,200 different versions of it. But they've all...
The thing is also is coronavirus. Coronavirus is just a virus, isn't it? So it's like this coronavirus has been here forever. The body has fought off lots of different coronaviruses over the years. Where it's just this strain, this COVID, and whatever, and it's a particular strain. And like you say, then there's different variations of COVID. So it just gets everyone gets a little bit sort of caught up in it all. But it's
and the thing is the protein spike. They say there may be more of those. That's why it's more infectious. But that's not a bad thing because that's what, to attack this virus, they go via that protein anyway. So it's the same kind of makeup. The vaccine is going to attack it. Doesn't matter if it's more protein spikes. So they're saying it's fine, vaccines. But you've got to look ahead 12 months, right? I'm looking 20 sites open pretty much by the end of this year. They'll have, and valid on that, and even on a conservative level, that's a 20 million market cap. Right now, we're sub 10. All right, then you've got what's them saying? If you notice every update, they're saying the remote and digital plays are doing very well. We're going businesses, and of course, there are lots of businesses, and we were talking before we came on. You said lots of businesses at the moment are not going into the office, they probably won't, but they're missing that team, camaraderie, getting together element, and so a lot of them do it online. Rather than sit there online, a lot of people are booking to do events online, even parties online, you can do escape rooms online, so, they're getting a lot of, business via that way, and so that will tick up as well. So 20 sites plus that, plus franchisee sites, about 30 overseas sites, which of course they don't get as much from. But so I'm saying that there'll be, over 20 million market cap by the end of the year, and you've just got to look at it like that. You can't guess the bottom. Of course you can't. I'm buying now. It may dip a bit further. Who cares?
Yeah.
I maybe have to sit in a loss for a little bit. I don't care because I see this as a viable investment over the mid to long term. So, that's the way you do it, and you just got to go with that, And but new site, Watford's open. Kingston's going to be open, and I just think. You can't predict the daily switch. There may be another lockdown. Who knows? But I'm hoping now we get that gap, the bridge that gap. If AstraZeneca come out, the vaccine, and they sort themselves out with the data, don't stop confusing everyone. Say, what are we using? Are we using half dose or full dose? I don't know. Sort that out, and then they pass it by the regulators. And I think the regulators will pass as long as it's safe and it's got an efficacy level above 50. It's fine. Get it out there. So and it is. It's way above that. So it's 70 to 90. They're saying so. Yeah, so I think that is the economy game changer, the AstraZeneca Oxford vaccine. And I think once that is given the pass, we'll see those stocks, those beaten down stocks again, which are suffering again right now. Like I said, a bit of a sell-off in all the travel companies like TUI and all those airline companies. They're all being sold off at the moment because of this uncertainty around how long this will last for. Once the AstraZeneca vaccine comes out, I think they'll jump. And they'll jump majorly. And so I think just hold on in there, top up time maybe, when everyone's, as Buffett says, I don't know if this is one of his or someone attributed it, but be greedy when others are fearful, be fearful when others are greedy. And that's the way he's making money, because he looks long term. Even though he's 90, 99 or 108, I don't know what he is, he's looking long term. That's quite optimistic in itself, isn't it? He's a long-term player, but he's 90-odd years of age. I know.
He's still not shorting anything, yes.
Yeah. So there we are. So I'm just saying, when you're worried, don't sell. If you've done if the company you're looking at has cash, and they have got cash, or in particular, but any company, if they've got cash to last it out for the next 6 months, you're good to go. And if you think they'll be back to normal-ish in the next 6 to 12 monthts, maybe it's time to top up now. Not worry and start selling. That's the why. I want to come down to the contrarian play on Centre Parks was. We were thinking, should we not book? But we were booked there. It was one of the best experiences we've ever had. I got to say, the staff at Centre Parks are amazing. They are like an American company. They are that kind of level of service. Always happy to help, and superb it was. So that's so we nearly didn't get into it. We thought, COVID's affected it all. No. It's made it a better experience, not for the company's bottom line, but for our experience, it was excellent. There's no one there. I hate people. I don't want to be queuing up next to people when they're trunks and, to get them a ride and doing the rapids. We didn't have to do any of that. We literally booked 2 evening swim sessions. We had a cabana as well, which are cheaper, which we sit in the little cabana there. And And we went the last couple of sessions we had. We went there. There's no one in the pool. No one. Just me and the kids. Wow. Amazing.
Wow.
I know. So that's what I'm saying. So I don't know. It's a loose analogy, but we
got it. Yeah.
Aren't all analogies loose?
Yeah, but don't buy shares in Centre Parks by sound.
Yeah.
Not that they are not their listed.
Yeah. Okay. I think they will be soon. No, do you know what? I would buy shares. In fact, do you know what I buy shares in as well? This week, just very expensive. Go Henry. Have you ever heard of that? Go Henry.
Is that Hoover?
No, it's a kiddie's account, a bank account. It's very clever though. It's an app. They just raised 40 million this week. So Vanessa, our friend on the road there, have been talking about Go Henry. So what you do, the kids get their own credit card, right? But it's via the app. So you give them tasks to do, and you can give 50 pence. You can change the amount you give them. But so Monty and Fred now have got their own credit card, right? They can spend online, all that stuff. But obviously you put limits on it via the app. You can give them sort of a weekly allowance if you want. You can put tasks on it if you want. Give 50 pence or £1 for each task they do. And it's very clever because they can spend, but you always get notified. You put spending limits on everything. So, but yet it's £3 a month, right? They've got about I think about 1.5 million people using it. I thought, what? So, and it's very clever, very smart app, very clever, well, user-friendly, so on my app, I can see Monty's and Fred's, and of course my management part of it. On theirs, I just see their part of it, and see how much is coming into them this week, how many tasks they have to do to get the money. It's very clever, and they're going to list soon. And one of those companies is like, one up on Wall Street was the guy saying, what's his name, Austin Lynch, when he was a fund manager. Think of the things you like. Yeah, Peter Lynch. Think about the things you like in life. And are they listed? He said a lot of times I've invested just via rumour, via my wife's friends. They've bought stuff and they really like something and they've got into it. And so that's the way forward. But I think Go Henry, some of that. It'll probably list to a lot higher. But they're a bank pretty much. But they're backed already. They just raised 40 million and it's backed by the banks. So this is very clever. It's a very simple way of doing it. And other banks could do that, I suppose. Make it so. I didn't do it for a while because it's quite expensive. It's £3 a month. I thought, what? And to me, for 2 kids, I know it doesn't sound a lot, but it does have
for not per kid.
Yeah, per kid. Yeah. So okay. Yeah. So
what are you getting for that?
Well, exactly. You get Megan comes there. It's just the control and functionality of the kids, teaching them how to spend. And I said to them now, because before we didn't do it, give them a little pocket money here and there. But I said now you know exactly how much you got. If you want to spend something. It's gone. The money's gone. You that's it. So it makes you think now. Monty, for example, he wanted this teddy at Centre Parks, and he said, "Is it coming out of my account?" And we said, "Well, I owe you £8 anyway, making sense. So you can have it." He said, "Okay, you had it." And then we said later that's coming off your money. That's going into Go Henry account. It's been activated on Friday. He said, No, I don't want it then. So what you want? What? So you wanted it if it was free, but it was coming from your own account. So now they're more accountable, you see, and so it's their money. They see that, but that's a good app for it. I mean, if they're going to be listed soon, I think Go Henry. But that's a cracking investment coming forward. Anyway, so what's your trends? Trends? By the way,
Gfinity.
Yes, Steve's a big holder of Gfinity. So that was good update, didn't they? First of all, they said they're going to be month-on-month operating profitability. First time ever since the AIM listing. Signed multi-year deals with Formula 1. 5-year partnership with ADMM. Seen strong growth in users in Gfinity Digital Media. Signed our first technology licensing contract, which is good. I didn't know about that. But they've reduced the operating costs by 47%, and pretty much half since November 2019. Yeah. Further reduction is expected on the culmination of our office lease in March, so they're going to not use the office. Leaves us well capitalised to deliver on our business plan. They also sold that's the esports competition, the rights to that, the awards thing for $500,000, which is nice. They don't want to use that anymore. I like that. Just there's no point holding it an esports award ceremony. The rights to that when you can get cash from it. And John said we are seeing positive momentum across the company with operational mantra that is easy to understand, delivering on focus on what we own, what we co-own, and build communities for others, utilising our tech IP and our world-class production expertise. I'm now confident Gfinity is well positioned for growth in 2021 and beyond. And then, of course, came the big signing. Len Rinaldi. I've connected with on LinkedIn. Seems a very nice guy, very sharp. He spent 12 years with Apple. And you think, wow, that's good. But is he a big player at Apple, though? He was general manager for Western Europe. That's quite a big role for Apple, isn't it? General manager. He held that for 7 years in this role. He's responsible for all partner relationships across Apple products, software and services with a $20 billion portfolio under management. Since he joined Apple in 2007, he's sort of Apple's CFO for Europe, Middle East, and Asia for 5 years. Is it Asia? No, EMEA. Anyway, he oversaw the revenue growth in that division from 7 billion to 40 billion. That is good. Len Rinaldi, man. And he said, I'm excited to join a rapidly growing, ambitious business. There's clear strategic priorities in place. Gfinity has a strong business model that we can take to the next level. I look forward to working with John and leadership team to help the business fully realise its ambitions. That is good signing, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
What are your thoughts on the whole being up for sale and all that kind of...
We know what his thoughts are, Pete.
Yeah, I know. Well, listen, sometimes I'm ramping.
How all that fits together now with all that. The update's very bullish and it's very good. I just wondered if, well, it's just speculation, isn't it? But let's speculate. I know your video the other week was obviously Microsoft. They were talking about Microsoft.
No, but I said I don't think. I said it could be Microsoft. I'm not saying they're going to be bought by Microsoft. What I'm saying is that they are playing, and with all the big brands, they are in contact with all the big brands. And this sort of says that. I mean, this guy here, ex-Apple, comes on board and looks like he wants to be very proactive in helping Gfinity. And, his contacts will be invaluable. I mean, Apple, they're in games as well, aren't they, in some way? What do they do? What do Apple do, games-wise?
They've got the arcade store, haven't they?
Yeah, the arcade store. So everyone's in gaming because they're if you're a business and it's a fast-growing area in your field, you've got to get a bit of, a foothold in it, because otherwise you'll miss out. Growth will miss out. So all the big companies are in gaming and esports. So I just think anyone could be possible. But I think what Gfinity want, like I said, if you look at, people keep forgetting, it's not up for sale. They're not really putting themselves up for sale. What they want is they see now a lot of potential to grow. Like their digital media side has grown very quickly, and they can accelerate that growth with investment from either a parent company in a way, not just doing a placing. I mean, talk about a company coming on board and helping them out in some way, and that's what they're looking for. Yeah. And I think that's what Len Rinaldi is there. And even if it doesn't come to pass, I mean, they'll get there. But they said what we need now, it's like, it's almost like any business, isn't it? You can see, for example, if you set up Steve sets up a hairdressing business, for example, right?
Yeah,
and he specialises in a new kind of cut, and just his style, his techniques and methods of working is unique. People and ladies love it, So he opens up Steve's hair, and literally people are queuing out the door. And he said, "You know what? I could open another 5 of these, I think." But I need the capital to get to open another 5, and I know I could fill another 5 of these. And that's what it's about, isn't it? So Steve gives a phone call to Vidal Sassoon. Said, Vidal, listen, fella, I'm doing a new cut. It's called the centre parting, and people are loving it in Wales. It's centre parting with a perm back, long hair at the back, very permed at the back, just a centre part in the front. People are loving it in Wales. And he said, I'm selling out. People are queuing on the street there. And so all I need is some capital to expand, And
Vidal says, "Stop calling me and go away."
Yeah, that is never going to catch on in the wider market. It's a very niche area, that centre parting, curly back head style. Yeah. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? Just generally, business. So if you see that there's massive growth to be had, but you need an injection of capital, then this is what you do. So I think that's what's happening. I think we know. And I don't know when it's going to happen. You can't put your house on the market for too long, So I think Christmas or Q1 maximum. I don't know, but be patient. People again. Yeah. Be patient, people.
It's not worth trying to second guess it, is it? But it's just interesting, and it's nice to speculate. You kind of go, I wonder what that will look like, or what they're thinking.
And this is my thoughts on John. Look what John has done so far. This company, like you said a couple of times, when he first got on board, Gfinity got to the stage where it was almost uninvestable because they had management there spending like crazy. Hand over fist, shareholder value had gone down and down and down. No one trusted anymore. It was like a barge pole stock. John came on. It took about 3 interviews on the podcast before I sort of believed him, what he was doing. But he was doing it. I could see the costs coming down massively, and I'd done videos on it. I said, okay, now I believe him. He's aiming for profitability, and he's going to do it. And so if you look at what he's done, and look at, do you trust him to carry on that good work? He's not going to just stop all of a sudden and say, right, that's it now, and then just start doing stupid things, start spending lots of money and go crazy. No, he's put a business model in to focus on the 3 core areas. He's in a hot space, and he's going to continue in that vein. And so trust John, but you trust it now. He sounds, Len's come on board. John and basically Talal, the guy in charge of digital media, they've got a passion. They really enjoy doing it, and they're turning this company around. And they've brought Len Rinaldi on, a big signing for a small, sub 13 a micro cap stock. But Len, realises it's a very hot space. They've got connections with all the big brands who want to get a foothold in esports. They've got their own digital media business as well. So I just think, trust the management here. Have a bit of patience, trust the management. I think they'll do a good job. And it's not going to take off overnight, but you'll see a steady... in fact, look at this chart, is very interesting. So it's bouncing around that level. I think once it gets above 4 pence, it'll start to really rally. But again, you get a couple of sellers in there, and it brings it back down. But bit of patience.
What has been going on? Is it sellers? Because it literally goes up and down by the same amount almost every single day, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, in fact,
that's a share, Steve. That's all.
Yeah. No, I know. Yeah. So if you look at it now, it's forming a nice wedge. So if you look at the chart, right, it's come up above the 200-day moving average. We had the golden cross happen. When was that? Back in August. And then it's been this range now, pretty much between 4.5 and 3 pence, 3.5, 4 pence there. But it's flattening out, and it'll once it gets about the 4 pence, it'll start to rally. It'll break that range, but a bit of patience is needed. And listen, I trust John to come up with more good news. The business is only getting better. So these websites they have, John has shown me some screenshots. If you search for like very popular things like X or PlayStation 5, and their websites come up in the first page of Google. Because they're doing all these promotions and all that stuff, and they do all these wraparounds. The more they do with that, the more brands want to align with it. So that they'll do they'll ask Gfinity to arrange, like, for example, Cadbury's Heroes, that is the celebrity esports tournament. Gfinity arrange that for them. Then they also spend with Gfinity, say, we want to advertise on your sites as well. We want to, before Christmas comes up, we want to advertise Cadbury Heroes on your site. So you get double bubble there. The Gfinity arranging the tournament for them and advertising on their sites. So that'll get better and better. The more these brands want to get involved in esports. So I say it's like a flywheel. It starts off slow, big metal wheels, starts spinning faster and faster. And the more traction they get, the more money they can charge. So it's the more of a presence they have in the esports arena or gaming arena, the more they can charge. So it'll get better and better. The business model is great. I think, so I like it a lot. And I think, have a bit of patience.
That's another example of, you kind of go, well, at this level, should I be investing a bit more? Because you're thinking, that path is looking ever rosier, isn't it? I mean, Steve's pretty invested up there.
No, I did. I bought a few dips when it dipped down of late recently. I bought a few dips, and so I topped up there a little bit more. So I'm happy with the level I got there. And so what's Len's? What's Len going to get? He's going to get options, isn't he, Len? I think. Len's the man. He's going to get 1.5. 1.5 million options of vest, 500,000 options vest. Well, is that all you got? 2 million options. So you got 2 million options, is all. Well, I got more than him. I got more shares than him, a lot more than him. Anyway, there we are. So Len's do it. I mean, if you look at Len, do a bit of Google search on Len, right? He does not work. He's retired. He now loves motorbikes. He's got like loads of motorbikes, classic motorbikes, everything. Even you can find him on YouTube, right? And the people filmed on his bikes. He's like, he's quite well off. He doesn't need to do this for money, Len.
No.
He's doing it because he wants to get involved in this area. He likes it. Likes John. He spoke with John. He likes John a lot, the team, and he thinks there's an exciting future here. That's why he doesn't need the money. Literally, his life is a hobby now. Is motorbikes, and but of course he's still well connected. He basically ran Apple in Europe and the Middle East. So he's a well connected guy. So he doesn't need to do that. So so I don't know. And I can't. I think Len and we'll probably get some other. There'll be some. I think they'll do very well. I think there's going to be some announcements probably that get better and better. Every announcement will probably get better and better. I think as time goes on with Gfinity. And I don't care whether. I mean, it's nice to get that investment from a big player to accelerate. But I think if you have patience anyway, it's going to get better. But they want that now because they see opportunity. Like I said, that line there, we see significant. We see now the chance to significantly increase our growth projections, and that's where they need that injection of capital because they can see the opportunity there. They can see the size of the prize. They need a bit of investment to get there. Any other company news? What happened to we're looking at something else. Do you see OnTheMarket? A good update, I thought. Did you see that?
Oh yeah, yes, they did, didn't they? Yep.
They said their financial year revenues are expected to be no less than 22.5 million, which is 20% growth from last year, which is considering, COVID lockdown. And they give a break to a lot of estate agents. They give a payment break to a lot of estate agents and all that stuff. They're still growing by 20%. That is impressive. Yep. They're going to be turning a profit as well. They got cash of to 10.9 million. Last time they did an update, they're 10.3 million. So it's gone up.
Yep.
So and if you look at the maths here, right? Rightmove valued at 5.8 billion. 90 times, or pretty much between 60 and 90 times. I don't know what it is now, but between say 70 times on the market's valuation. They've got about 18,000, 19,000 estate agents on the market of 14,000, and they charge an average of £300 per month. But a lot of those came on as an introductory fee or free, right? So they're converting those over. Yeah. So if you look at that money, if you do the maths, even simple maths, 22.5 million they're going to turn over, divided by 14,000 agents, right? The average there is 1,600 a year, divided by 12 equals 133 quid. That's the average they're paying. That's not even half of what their average should be. So a lot of people, so if they convert, say, even if you did, let's get a modest figure of 10,000 agents, right? Rather than 14,000, let's say they convert 10,000 agents onto £300 per month, their average. That's 3 million per month times 12. That's 36 million in revenue. That's a lot bigger than the 22.5 million they talked about, and that's just on 10,000 estate agents. So even if they sign no more estate agents and convert some of those they've already got, they're still going to be doing, a big growth there in the revenue. So I just think, at the moment, it's a no-brainer. And I think there's a lot. And of course, a new CEO joined, whose background is in estate agency and all that stuff. So, I think it's going in the right direction. And I now look at Zoopla. I now monitor Zoopla, Rightmove, and On the Market. There's not a lot in them as far as me getting properties. I get the same amount of notifications from all of them. So, it's good. I think and of course, the January, February is a very popular month for estate agency. That's the busiest month. People breaking up after Christmas, So let's have one more then.
That's happy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happens. So we'll have one more then, and we'll give it a knock on the head.
It. Right, just sell the house, get out of it.
But people want a new change, a new year, new them, don't they? They want, do you ever do that? New year. Do you have New Year's resolutions or anything, Steve? Peter?
No.
Not really, no.
Okay.
That killed that one, didn't it? Right, what's next on the agenda?
Well, I saw a funny rise. It was Polarean. You see that?
Yeah.
That rose on Friday. Paddy's got a big chunk of Polarean.
Yeah.
So, and I think, what is this about then? Well, because they, of course, they're expected to get their review, aren't they? Their priority review on the new drug device from the FDA. The FDA, of course, is swamped with applications, most of them from testing companies. You realise, even though it's the most hyped space in the round, there's so much competition now in testing. There's so many companies, submitting testing kits for CE mark over here or FDA approval in America, emergency use. And so I think that 60 days they had from 7th of October, someone said it's more like 74 days, but weekends and letter and all that stuff. And so it's delayed, but it's only a difference of 4. I saw someone, people on, try and de-ramp stocks they missed out on. Don't bother doing that. It just shows what a character you are. Don't de-ramp stocks. Just look for other opportunities rather than, de-ramp. As someone said, this has got a 50 pence now. If they don't get that priority review, 50 pence. I thought, first of all, have you got a crystal ball? Second of all, it won't, because the market hasn't got any smaller. Because if they don't get priority review, the potential is still the same. Doesn't matter. And it's about 4 months difference in commerciality time, that's all. So they'll get it about 4 months faster. So it doesn't matter. So if it starts dipping, people will buy it, because they know there's lots of potential there. So people will buy the dip here. But we don't know yet. I think, you haven't heard anything. The company will tell us whether it's not received it. They haven't received that. So I'm just thinking the FDA are running behind. That's all it is. So, but I think people are expecting it this week. Someone did say it's going to be the 23rd. They did a 74-day guide.
Wow, okay, right.
It's going to be the 23rd. So, what a Christmas present, eh? The eve of Christmas Eve. What day is that? What day are we on today?
Wednesday. Wednesday will be the
Thursday.
23rd. Wednesday 23rd.
Wednesday 23rd, is it? Yeah. So we may get it then. So, okay.
All right. Okay.
Was there any other company news?
Nothing really this week, no.
Okay. Yeah. So I've pretty much reallocated all my cash from Salt Lake into EV plays.
Are you completely out of Salt Lake now, are you?
Yep. I just think you can't ignore this trend. I haven't got enough in there at the moment. And I'm going to give you the first of my EV plays, right?
Okay.
And I haven't got enough in there at the moment. I mean, I want more money in these EV plays, but of course, I'm going to play the long game, of course, because we're at the start here of this. In fact, the first ramp up, I think. So I'm going to name the first one of my 2 EV plays. It's called Trackwise Designs. And I do a video at the weekend, and I've got 9 reasons why. I go through my market filters there, which I keep adjusting and iterating and making better, hopefully tweaking. But essentially, what do? They've got unique tech. I didn't know about this. Batteries, electric batteries in cars. Yeah. They're all. They look like one big slab, don't they? Like one big battery slab. It looks like. If you take the lid off that, they're pretty much thousands of AA batteries, thousands of small cells batteries, loads of them. And they're all connected, normally via a circuit board or something like that. But what? What they have, they've got this enhanced harness technology, improved harness technology. It's a disruptive, proprietary, patented process technology that enables the replacement of wire and wire harness, which would be used in batteries generally, in a wide variety of applications. And Trackwise are able to offer length unlimited, multi-layer, flexible printed circuit boards, a global, unique capability. No one else can do this. Okay, and they've just received an order as well from an EV manufacturer in the UK worth 38 million. And they're valued at 68 million. They've had a quick ramp up in price. They've raised also 12 million off the back of this. But the only big EV player in the UK at the moment is Nissan Leaf. So I'm assuming it's from them. Now, considering, if you look at it, the only big commercial EV player in the market is Nissan Leaf. They've got their order from them, 38 million over the next 3 years. And this is considering their revenues at the moment are around about 2 or 3 million. That's very significant. So they've got this. In fact, there's a picture of them if you go on their presentation of them standing outside their their business unit. There's about 30 employees holding this, flexible IHT, which is improved harness technology. But as long as they want, they can make it as long as they want to. Other people can't. No one can do this. And also, so it reduces weight compared to other normal stuff they use, the normal circuit boards, by 75%, and that's crucial in battery because batteries are very heavy. And, of course, if you look at carbon footprints, it's all about that, reducing carbon footprint to zero. Now, that's what they want to do by going EV. But, these cars, at the moment, people have two worries about electric vehicles. First of all, it's range anxiety. Can we do, 400 miles in one charge? How long does it take to charge? So the lighter these things are, the better, the more range you can get, the less time it takes to charge them. And the more effective conductivity as well on their tech is more effective. So I see this as a multi-play. I can't see why every EV player wouldn't go with this company. So I think there's lots of upside. First of all, that contract underpins their valuation and a bit more currently. And like I said, they are patented. And secondly, they've got major contracts in the offing with not only where's the sectors here. So major sectors they've got. They've got EV, of course, and of course we're just at start here. We just announced a gigafactory. The first gigafactory is going to be built in Blythe. That's going to be the first of many. Every pretty much government in the world is going towards EV. It's the biggest trend I think I can ever think of. They've also got a massive space in the medical market. They do catheters. I didn't know this. The catheter market is very big, and so they're working with 3 US European medical catheter manufacturers. Lead catheter customer is a large US medical OEM. They're saying they've got purchase orders received for second projects, samples delivered. So it's just a matter of time. Orders expected in 2021 and early 2022. And these are with big, American companies and European companies. And the estimated global market compound annual growth for catheter market is 8%, and it's supposed to be reaching 20 billion by 2025 for catheters.
But their competition must be fairly...
They haven't got a competition.
So how are they unique? I didn't get that bit.
Because they can do multi-length, multi-layer, improved harness technology. No one can do it at the moment. People can do sort of they're limited by the length they can do and the layers they can do. But these are so fine. You're talking about their fibers they use. I think they use copper, but their fibers they use are like less than a hair strand, a follicle is smaller than that. So they can make it as long as they want to, and no other one can do that. That's why it's patented in US, in UK. Let me just find that thing. So patents. Where's the patents? US, UK, China patent. So look at that, big markets. UK, US, and China. I wouldn't hold too much. Sweden, the China patent, because China just rip off everything anyway, don't they? But UK and US, of course, European, hopefully. So so its key benefits, which are built on the long-standing and well-known benefits of flexible PCBs, which is circuit boards. What's P sample? I don't know. Of short length is it can reduce printed circuit boards. Yeah, so they do printed. So they can reduce weight up to 75% by replacing incumbent technology, improve precision, reliability, and performance, and the ability to support distributed electronics. So literally, they put these in batteries. The performance is better. It's lighter. It's more reliable, and it's more precise. So so
interesting.
And they've got that. They've got patents on that everywhere. And I think first of all, so they've got catheter market, which is not just EV market. So they've got big deals in the offing with the catheter producers, OEMs, and also aerospace. They've got a wing ice protection collaboration with GKN. That's happening at the moment. They're working with 30 plus aerospace OEMs and suppliers, because of course it's all about weight when it comes to flying. And of course, planes will be going to EV. There'll be electric planes in the future. And it's all about weight and reducing carbon footprint. And this is what this plays into. They said that their technology is lighter, it's more precise, and it's more reliable. So I like them a lot. They said they've just raised 12 million. They're valued about 70 million. But this is just a start. I mean, if you look at their growth in their revenue, it's going up by 100% over the next 2 years, pretty much, in excess of 100%. In fact, let's look. 108. No, sorry. They're expecting growth of 134% this year, 108% next year, 55% in 2022, and so it's very good growth. So that's why. And what I like as well is that the original owner, CEO owns about Philip Johnson owns 23.5% of the stock. So that's quite nice to know. And even after the last fundraise, the CFO owns just over. Well, under 1%, but it's still a decent chunk, isn't it? Under 1% of 70 million. What's that? What's 1% of 70 million? 700,000?
Yeah.
300, well, you got, no, in fact, 350 grand. So they're all investing in it. I just like it. Tech, I think, and it's like, it's not like it's a battery producer who can only supply to, maybe one market. This can go many different markets, but of course, EV is the big play. And just looking at the chart, it's risen. Do you know what was annoying? I interviewed these guys on their IPO, and that wasn't a couple of years back. And I liked what they were talking about. It was tech, it was patented. I didn't understand it though. I just what is IHT? I didn't really understand.
And let's be honest, you wouldn't hold a share for 2 years anyway.
Yeah. And then I interviewed them. I like the sound of that. I don't understand what it means, but where it applies. But the CFO I chatted to was very passionate about it, and he said it's going to be a game changer. They were like a pound a share for a while. Then all of a sudden, they on that OEM deal, that EV deal, that 38 million market on that EV manufacturer, they shot up to £3.60. Did the fundraise at £2, and a lot of shareholders were annoyed at that because they bought the spike, came back down. It's now at £2.44. I don't know if I'll get back down to £2. I may get some sellers in there, but a lot of institutions took part in that fundraise who were sticky, pretty much. So I don't know if I'll get down to £2, but I think this level here is a good level to start accumulating. I
don't want to, let you get away with something like the Potash thing without asking a couple of questions. I get why you've got out of it, because obviously the story has changed. That it hasn't been, it's not as promising as it was in terms of potential because of the dilution, because of the cost of everything. I get that, but production is allegedly still on schedule for March or that kind of more Q1. And
the fundraising's all done now.
Yeah, so it's exactly. So it has hopefully, touch wood, de-risk to an extent. And so you should see, a rise. I agree it's not going to be multi-bag from here kind of valuations. And so perhaps a lot of people won't be into it. And so you won't see a massive rise. But yeah, like the safety, the de-risking element and the sort of it's become a safer investment. It's been a rocky last month, but you sort of think now, is this the time to sell with everything that's on the horizon? I don't know.
I agree with everything you said there. I think now it's pretty much a safe play, even though sentiment's been knocked a bit because Tony did say let's be honest, he said his plan wasn't to fundraise again and he had to do another fundraise. There was a bit of a mess up there, of course. A lot of it is down to currency movements, and he's not in charge of that, of course. You can't deal with that.
Can't control that.
It's more a personal. I always said 3 reasons to sell, right? I said, 1, story's changed. And I don't think it has changed that much. Not a lot has changed, really. I mean, a little bit maybe because of currency, but over long term I don't think so. Secondly, what was it? De-risk, and thirdly, reallocation of capital. And in my mind, I didn't have that. I was fully invested, wasn't I? A couple of weeks back, I had 20 quid in my account. And I didn't have any more money to put in, pretty much, from my current account or anything there. So I had to think, right, what do I want to be in? Do I want to be in a Salt Lake, producer there, or Salford producer, which is quite a big trend, I understand, but it's not as big a trend as the EV trend. And tech versus resource, I'm more into tech. And it's just a personal decision. Where should I put my money? And do you know what? I see EV as the bigger trend, the more exciting trend. And I thought, I've got to take it out somewhere. And everything else is tech. Salt Lake Power is my only resource stock, which I'm not a fan of resource stocks anyway. And of course, I'm not a big fan of debt. So I thought, right, I'm going to take money out of there and start putting it into my EVs. And I still haven't got enough in my 2 EV stocks because I essentially taken all of the money out of Salt Lake and split it over 2 EV stocks. Ideally, I would like to put in 1 EV stock, and I announced the other EV stock in a few weeks' time when its share price settles down. But that's it. It's just personal, finance question, really. Where do I put money? I've only got a limited amount of resources. I've got to divert.
You've taken a loss in that now, in order to get on to something that you think is going to rise in the short term.
Yeah, I just think there's more potential.
More than make back the loss. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. There's more potential, I think, in the EV plays, but you could argue that. You could argue that maybe Salt Lake will gain more. I don't know, but to me,
it just seems the time frame.
It's more. I know, but it's more. I like it.
Hold on. The EV market's been around for years already, and we're in. And yes, it's going to be around, and it's a trend, but it's not. I mean, we're looking at Q1 in 2021. Yes, they might announce another incredible deal, this Trackwise, whatever. But I just think I'm going to see how the Salt Lake thing plays out in Q1. I have reduced my holding, but I'm going to stay in there.
Listen.
That might be the wrong decision, but there we go.
Listen. I may have made the wrong decision in the short term. I don't think I will in the long term. Because I genuinely think there's more upside. Listen, we're at the start. I know EV's been around for a while, but there's nothing like this now. We have to adopt EV. It's illegal to buy a car after 2030. We're literally less than 10 years away. And so much needs to change in that time. And do you know what? There's so much improvement needed. And this company plays into that improvement. Like I said, there's people say, well, you can't charge cars. It takes too long to charge, Well, first of all, this company helps that. And the range anxiety, this company helps that because it reduces weight and all that stuff. So that plays into that area there, and I think that's a very exciting area. And like I said, I'm more like tech than resource. I've got off resource stocks, and I've always been a tech kind of person. I like tech companies. I just like them, and they're British as well. They're both British, I prefer tech. There's resource tech, and where should I allocate my capital to? I find a more exciting space in tech than resource. But I genuinely say, listen. I think there's still lots of upside to be had in Salt Lake Potash. I still think that's the case. Just a personal decision. Where do I want to be? I want to be an EV. I don't want to be in a resource company. I want to be an EV. That's it. And as I said, limited resources. I had no cash up until.
But then I just think, and I always say this, but like a diversified portfolio, but you can be.
No, but hang on. Let me take you through the diversity portfolio here, right? So. I've got medical technology in Polarean, right, which is serving a big market, lung market, right? I've got esports, another very fast, growing market, right? I've got leisure, experiential activities, which are growing year on year. People are now want not buy things and tat and nonsense. They want experiences, and that falls into the old social media, Instagram, taking pictures, showing off, pretty much doing stuff. That's a big trend, and that's escape. And I see that valued at next to nothing, pretty much. What else? On the market, that's property, pretty much, but with a tech spin on it. So tech is tech envelops every sector now these days. It's not, you can't just put tech on its own. It touches every sector. That's why 20 years ago the biggest companies on the American stock markets were like oil and gas, all these companies, and now they are all tech companies because tech touches every sector. What else have I got?
What if
Symphony Environmental, plastic revolution, making plastic smarter, and now you've got electric vehicles. There's big trends there. I like the trend in the tech. Touching those trends, so I'm diversified.
But I think you're too focused on tech.
but listen, if you'd come out, that's all it was, isn't it? Listen, I think there's lots of potential. I think there's lots of potential in solid potash still. I just had a thought. Where I get these funds from, I definitely. First of all, I want to get into EV. I don't see a bigger trend in the world than that now, with every government person around the world saying you've got to get electric vehicles or hydrogen. But that isn't a competitor really at the moment. And where I want to be, I want to take money from somewhere else. Every other trend I quite like was a very big trend. I liked them. And I thought, okay.
I understand. Yeah.
So it's not I'm not saying that the company's changed in any way. The story hasn't changed there. Okay, there's been a bit of slippage. There's been a bit of slippage there because of they raised more funds. People question Tony. I think Tony's listen. Okay, he's maybe been a bit bullish on times, but isn't that the job of the CEO? He wouldn't be in the job otherwise. Yeah, but I think
I'm not being overly defensive or I'm seeing it both sides, and I'm just working my way through. Yeah, you're thinking that's interesting, and I'm thinking about my own position. But, I'm not saying
that Trackwise will outperform solid potash in the next year or something. I have no idea who will outperform. I think once production starts, you're generating a standard state of play, £60 million sterling in free cash flow. It may be a little bit less, I don't know, but if that changes due to the currency, but that's still a decent chunk of change considering what their market cap is. And so, Trackwise will not be generating that. But I've seen when trends go nuts, you can throw valuations at the window, absolutely throw valuations at the window. In fact, my other EV play, a competitor of theirs is valued at $22 billion in the US, and the one I hold is valued at 100-something million market cap, and that other company hasn't started producing anything. So how are you valuing that 20? So when trends get Tesla's valuation is what bigger than all the vehicles now around. So other market caps. So it's nuts. So I would say is when trend gets in there, hot trend, valuations go ballistic, and that's why on a say free cash flow model, of course, I think solid potash would be better play in Trackwise, but on a trend level, I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, I just like to have some potash in the portfolio.
Yeah, me too. But I've had too much. It got too salty for me,
Right.
Okay. The last thing is, do you think we'll see a Santa rally this year? There was the Twitter poll.
Yes. What were the results?
See, I think people now are in a bearish mind, and so they think it won't happen. Of course, Brexit's hanging over us a little bit. Is that still going on? It's gone quiet, isn't it? Are they come up with anything or what? No, I don't know. Anyway, 43% said yes, 57% said no ho ho. And I've got to point out, people said it's a bit late, isn't it? And I've got to point out that Santa Rally is a Wall Street phenomenon associated with usually strong stock market gains during the last 5 trading days of the year and the first 2 trading days in the year. So we're not there yet. It's after Christmas, pretty much. It's the days. Is it last 5 days? Yeah. So and you do see it, and it happens 75% of the time. So there's a good chance it will happen.
And it doesn't happen 25% of the time.
Yeah, exactly, quarter of the time. And of course, at the moment, you could say we're in strange times with COVID and with Brexit. So, what's going to happen here? So,
don't you think it would need some sort of stimulus to kick it off? Like, if on Monday, the 21st, they announce, I don't know, some further advance or some, other vaccine.
Or if AstraZeneca come out with, with it, I think it'll go nuts.
I could see, but that's not really a Santa rally. That's just another, post-COVID rally or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that will open the economy. Now, again, you got that thing, we're being suppressed again. All markets are rallying, American markets are rallying, but the UK market will be suppressed because we've got Brexit hanging over our heads. There's still a problem here. So, part of me just says, just get the deal done. And I know European, I don't know how you do that. So,
I don't know, yeah.
Steve, any thoughts this week? Any observations? Any exciting, any unusual?
Not really, no. I've just been pretty busy leading up to Christmas, to be honest, so I haven't really been paying attention to much other than work. Yeah. So pretty boring, really.
What work have you been doing then? What have you been working for? Anything exciting?
The vaccine centre.
The
Yeah.
what?
The vaccination centre.
Oh, yeah.
I've been injecting people.
Yeah. No, just, I don't even know what have I been working on. No, I've just been working on so many different projects all at the same time. It's just going to be a bit...
Yeah. That's great, isn't it? That's great to have that as well as a good distraction.
Yeah, it has, actually.
See, the work-at-home economy. It's, pretty much. All right, boys. In fact, is this the last one before Christmas?
It is, yeah. I don't think we'll do one on Boxing Day, will we?
Oh, yeah, Boxing Day, no. So, we'll have a happy Christmas, boys, and we'll speak when we speak next then. So it's odd times of the year, isn't it? Well, so next time is the 26th or 25th. Oh,
should we do a live one on New Year's Eve?
Yeah, New Year's Eve. Yeah, we could do that.
Got nothing else to do.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, when's New Year's Eve then? 31st. No, what? 31st.
It's always on the 31st.
Yeah, it's a Tuesday. Thursday.
What?
Thursday.
Yeah,
Thursday. Yeah. Okay. All right, boys. Have a nice Christmas, and hopefully you've been good boys, and Santa will, empty a sack in your bedroom.
Stockings.
In your stockings. Yeah.
Bye.
No.
Merry Christmas.
The Weekend Podcast on Vox Markets with Justin, Peter and Steve. Nothing in this podcast is intended as investment advice, and the people in this podcast may hold positions in the stocks they talk about. Do not buy anything based solely on a tip or recommendation. Please do your own research.